everyone. I'm Terri Pace, and I'm a holistic health coach. I have had some pretty amazing stories over the last 10 years, and I just want to express my gratitude for the opportunity to share my knowledge and experiences with you today as part of the Mental Hygiene Initiative for Suffolk County employees. During today's workshop, we're going to explore the daily habits that you can do to improve your sleep. I will share some very simple routines and some of my favorite essential oils for better, more restful sleep. But first, I understand that maybe not a lot of people have had experience with essential oils. And so I wanted to do a brief overview of exactly what is an essential oil and what are their health benefits. So if you leave here today with some simple steps that you can take to improve your sleep, would you find that valuable? I'm like, yes, I think we all can. Okay, so what exactly is an essential oil? So an essential oil is distilled from plants. It's the leaves, the flowers, berries, stems, the bark, roots, like all the different parts of the plant. Or in the case of a citrus fruit, it's cold pressed. So they're naturally occurring volatile aromatic compounds. Like in other words, it's nature's chemistry, right? Essential oils in their purest form are a message carrying molecule, right? The essential oils produced by the plant as part of its defensive and recovery mechanisms. It's also part of its communication system, right? It helps protect the plant from environmental threats. It helps it recover from microbial or fungal attacks, and it helps attract pollinators and repel pests. And so these three things are the same reasons that they're the same benefits that we get when we use an essential oil, right? It protects us, it improves our communication, right? Cellular communication, and it heals or repairs damaged cells. And so a lot of really good reasons why we want to use an essential oil. There are three different ways we use essential oils, right? So aromatically is the first, right? What's the first thing you notice when you open the cap of an essential oil? Well, it has a smell. It's the aroma, right? And you breathe it in. You can use it to clean the air, to open your airways, or as you'll learn a little further on, that it can help improve our mood, right? Diffusing, you know, you can put it in a diffuser, you can put it on your hands. It lets, you know, the entire family or work area enjoy the benefits of that essential oil. Topically is well-founded, lots of science about applying essential oils topically. We apply it to the area we want to impact, right? So wherever you have a headache, you're going to apply it on your headache. You have neck pain, right? Like whatever's going on, you have a bug bite, like you're going to apply the oil in the area where you need the most help. All right, we talk about applying it on the bottom of the feet, right? You have big, juicy molecules that have to get into the bloodstream quick, and so that's a good place to do it. We also talk about applying it along the spine, or on the back of the neck is a great place just to be able to get it into our nervous system, right? We also know that we can take them internally, right? Put a few drops in your water or in a veggie cap. Sometimes I even just drop a couple drops underneath my tongue, right? But not all essential oils are created equal. So you have to make sure that your essential oil has the supplement facts label from the FDA that says that it's approved for internal use, right? When we're using a therapeutic grade essential oil, within 22 seconds, they find that chemistry in the brain. In 2 minutes, it's in the bloodstream. And in 20 minutes, it's in every cell of the body. And so here is a great example, right? So this is a person's blood, right? On the left, this is, free radical damage has made it clumped, and they're sluggish and they're misshapen. And they applied an essential oil to the bottom of this person's feet, and 30 seconds later, they took a new blood sample. And that's what you see on the right, right? And so you can see just how dramatic the change was. You can see that it had an immediate effect. I mean, think about that. 30 seconds later, we have changed how our blood and the cells in the blood are shaped, how they move, how they behave, right? And so, you know, it's the most amazing thing that you will discover when you start to use essential oils. And, you know, when it's time to fall asleep, immediate, right? Being really fast is good, right? I don't want to wait. Like, I am tired, I want to crawl in bed and I want to fall asleep, right? And so what we're going to talk about today is some of the ways that we can enjoy better sleep, right? I do want to talk a little bit about, like, I love sleeping. I love this quote by Ernest Hemingway, right? My life has a tendency to fall apart when I'm awake. You know what I mean, right? I'm like, but sleeping is super important. Like 36% of our life is spent sleeping, right? That's, if you had a 60-year marriage, that's 21 and a half years that you were sleeping through that marriage, right? And so sleep impacts our life experiences while we're awake by doing or not being able to do what we need to have done while we're sleeping. So what do I hear the most about from people, right? So I hear, you know, it's hard to fall asleep, or maybe you wake up once or maybe even multiple times throughout the night. Maybe you are groggy in the morning, right? You might have slept, but you really don't feel refreshed. Like, if you want to put it in the chat, what is it that you experience? Do you sleep well, or do you have a particular situation that you'd like to resolve? So I'm going to share some very simple steps that you can do, right, to help you fall asleep quicker, to help you stay asleep longer, and then wake up feeling refreshed, right? This is what my goal is. So sleep is the most extraordinary 24-hour behavior of all. And the lack of sleep is related to so many dysfunctions, right? In the short term, like, you know, a day or two, maybe a week where you haven't slept well, you'll notice that there's loss of attention. You have, you know, failure to process information, like memory, right? How many times have you know, you're a little groggy from not sleeping so good, and now, like, you walk into a room and you're like, why did I come in here, right? Like, there's so much that gets foggy in our brain when we don't sleep well. And so we have reduced cognition and even reduced creativity, right? Sometimes we just don't even have the motivation and energy to create what we need to create for the day. Long term, like, this happens, you know, for months or years on end where you're just not sleeping well. You could actually have immune suppression, which is not a really good thing right now. You could have increased risks for cancer, for infection, cardiovascular disease, diabetes. You know, it actually has even been linked to metabolic syndrome, right? So there's a lot that happens if we're not getting the right amount of sleep. And if this is chronic for you, it can actually become almost psychiatric, where you have mood instability and anxiety disorders. You might even, you know, resort to, you know, taking stimulants or sedatives, and, you know, actually have a mental health crisis. And so, you know, I really would love to help you learn some simple things that you could do. Now, a lot of the stuff I'm going to share right now, you know, are pretty simple and basic. And that's what makes them so powerful, is that anybody can do them. And so the first thing is, we want to really create an optimal environment, right? So you know, keep your room dark, especially if you wake up in the night. You want minimal stimulation rules, right? Don't turn the light on, don't turn the TV, do not check your phone, right? Keep the lights off, you know, get up and go to the bathroom or have a glass of water, whatever it is, and then go right back to sleep, right? You want to create a very relaxing routine, right? You want maybe read before bed, gentle music, relaxing odors, like maybe queuing up your favorite essential oil in a diffuser, right? It's really important to remove the distractions from the sleeping space, right? Don't watch TV, I know that that's like some people's favorite way to fall asleep, right? You know, sometimes we actually go to bed with our computers, right? Our phones, our mini computers, and leaving them on, like there's still, you know, electromagnetic waves that are produced, and this actually can affect our circadian rhythm, right? Having a very consistent bedtime and wake up time is really good. So if you think historically, right before the light bulb was invented, we woke up with the sun and we went to sleep when it set, right? There was really no light. You did everything by candlelight. And so like everything was about being in the same rhythm as the sun. And, you know, the light bulb has changed that for us because it gives us more hours of the day, which, you know, isn't always good for us, right? Like we're trying to squeeze 100 things into a day that can maybe only fit 20 or 30, right? So we just keep lengthening it. And so are you really ready to go to bed and to get some sleep? Like have you accepted that it's okay to put down what you haven't finished, right? So one of the first mindsets is, you know, I'm allowed to go to sleep now and leave everything else for tomorrow. Ensuring regular periods of sleep at night is super important. Your body, it has kind of like things it does at certain hours, beginning at 9 o'clock at night. And if we're still up and doing things, particularly, you know, how our body regulates hormone production, and, you know, we're doing things at night while we're sleeping. And so if you're not getting sleep, there is particular organs or systems of your body that are not kind of being rebooted overnight. And so it's really important, right? One of the things that I heard from a woman who got her doctoral thesis in mental hygiene, by watching television and staring at the view screen of your smartphone, we stimulate the pineal gland. That's a gland that's in the brain. And that's responsible for producing melatonin. And when we slow down the production of melatonin, right, we have a more difficult time falling asleep. So, you know, all of that screen time is actually working against you. So if you do nothing else after listening to this, you know, leave your phone downstairs, charge it in the kitchen, and go up to bed without it. Okay. So what else can we do? Well, making good lifestyle choices is super important, right? So you're going to avoid caffeine or nicotine, other stimulants like, you know, sugars and alcohol. I know that's a tough one, right? We don't really want to let go of that. But if you are having significant issues sleeping, you know, it's well documented that alcohol may help you, you know, pass out and fall asleep, but you are going to wake up in the middle of the night. Sometimes 2 or 3 o'clock is that hour that the liver cleans itself. And so if you're waking up at 2 or 3 o'clock, you know, maybe your liver's a little overwhelmed, right? You know, it processes all the sugar and the toxins. And so, you know, this kind of gives you a clue, you know, what organ or system needs my help. So pay attention to what time you're waking up regularly. One of the other things that we can do is not eat too close to bedtime, right? It has a great impact on our body. The body detoxifies, right? We just talked about that. And when we detoxify, that's one of the things that helps us reduce inflammation, right? So as we detoxify, we are correcting inflammatory issues. If the body is still digesting food, this will interfere with that detox process, right? So, you know, like 2 hours before bed, you know, make it kind of a rule in your head. I'm not going to eat anything, you know, so if you're going to bed at 11, don't eat anything after 9 o'clock, right? This nighttime eating also interferes with like weight control and other health issues, right? So we also know that, you know, exercise can be stimulating. And so, you know, it's not really a good idea to do it too close to bed, right? Maybe within 3 hours of your bedtime, you should, you know, limit your exercise. And you know, napping, you know, you get in a cycle, right? You woke up and you're tired, you nap in the middle of the day, and then, you know, when it's time to go to bed, you're really not tired. So like a cat nap, like a 20-minute power nap is okay, but not longer than that, because then it will disrupt your nighttime routine, right? Okay. Don't drink water right before bed, right? And that'll add to your problem about, you know, getting up to go to the bathroom. All right, so what else can we do? Well, the answer literally is right under your nose, right? We can maximize the power of aroma, right? You can influence your emotional response, like your cell's behavior, right? Think of that slide that I showed you with, you know, the 30 seconds later, how drastically different the cells were after, you know, applying an essential oil to the bottom of the feet, right? When you consider the science we have on how we have direct access to the brain through aroma. Like, I'll propose to you that we are wired for this very thing, to use aroma to manage our emotions, to manage our behavior, right, and improve our health. So when you breathe in an essential oil, it goes straight to the amygdala, right? This is where we have that fight or flight response, right? Your limbic brain is responsible for deciding if you're safe or not safe. And part of the issue with going to sleep is, well, I'm vulnerable when I'm sleeping. Wouldn't you agree? Right? And so we have to be safe, right? And so one of the best things to do is to make sure that, you know, when we create that environment, right, we're turning off cell phones, which cause us stress, which the stress hormones actually make us awake and ready to go. So we want to reduce our stress hormones. And how many of you out there actually, you know, sometime as you both get into bed, your partner will bring up something, you know, like real complicated stuff right before it's time to go to bed? Like, that's really probably not a good idea. and I know it's you know, it happens a lot. It happens a lot in relationships, right? Okay, so, you know, just by introducing an essential oil with powerful chemistry, right, powerful nature's chemistry that can have dramatic and immediate effect on our bodies, we can change how we experience sleep, right? It's like, you know, a really special person who walks in the room and can change the mood of the entire room just by being there. Right? This is how I think of essential oils, right? Just by, you know, opening the cap and breathing it in or applying it to my skin, I am going to have an amazing experience with them there now. So now I'm going to tell you like some of my favorites, right? So my first one, this is like my go-to every night without fail, right? Frankincense is considered the king of essential oils, right? I use it at bedtime for a more restful sleep. You can use it throughout the day, apply it to your wrist or the back of your neck. Because it's a wood oil, it's very grounding and stabilizing to the nervous system, which is generally that anxiousness is part of the reason why we can't fall asleep, right? I know for me, when I climb into bed, I'm exhausted, right? It's not that I'm not tired, but I can't shut it off, the chatter that goes on in my brain. And so frankincense actually helps me to kind of, you know, like quiet the chatter, right? And, you know, I put it in the diffuser for a very peaceful environment. Remember how important it is to kind of set the stage. Like, is your sleeping area tranquil, where it's conducive to sleep, right? And one of the things that I love about frankincense in particular, but all essential oils, right, is like they have a side benefit. Like when you're using it to help you, you know, be more relaxed and peaceful and like less anxiousness, you're actually promoting cellular, immune, nervous, and digestive system function, right? So, you know, we get side benefits. So we're going to increase our body's cellular health when we're using frankincense as we're trying to sleep, right? And at night, this is when we're doing the repair process. Like, so taking frankincense right before bed, like I put 2 drops under my tongue. It's a little bit woody, right, as a flavor, but it's not unpleasant. And it helps me, like within 30 to 60 seconds, kind of shut off all that mind chatter, and I'm fast asleep before I know it. We also have vetiver. Vetiver is another wood oil that is extremely calming to the nervous system, right? This one, like, it's almost like a sedative for me. I apply this to the bottom of my feet and the back of my neck, and it's so grounding. It has a very deep and complex aroma, and so that chemistry is long lasting, right? So now you're getting into an essential oil that's going to provide long lasting kind of sedation, like natural sedation though. I also love, love, love lavender, right? This helps me wind down really quick so I can fall asleep fast and stay asleep longer, right? One of its gifts is that it has something called linalool. It's a name of a chemistry that helps you reduce cortisol. And cortisol is one of your stress hormones. And when you're stressed out, right, we have a lot of cortisol that comes out in the blood. It helps our heart beat faster. It dilates our eyes so we have more acuity. It, like, you crave carbs and you get lots and lots of energy, right? So this is good in a moment where you really need that, flight. But, at 10 or 11 o'clock at night, when the cortisol is still surging through my blood, it makes it super difficult to just lay on the pillow and close your eyes and fall asleep. So I love using lavender to promote that relaxation, to decrease the stress hormones in my blood and help me reverse the chemistry that's keeping me awake, right? How cool is that? Now, lavender is kind of flowery, and so there are some men who don't really like the flowery scent, and so you can use Pedigree. Pedigree is a wood oil that also is very high in that chemistry, linalool, and it'll help with less time to fall asleep and promoting these feelings of calmness. So whether it's his or hers, pick what you like and enjoy it, right? I did want to say that there's a lot of science in what Pedigree can do for the body. And one of them is that it reduces neuronal excitability, right? The neurons of your brain. And so when we're talking tomorrow at 3, we'll be talking about increasing focus, right? And so Pedigree is one of the oils we're going to talk about, and some of the science of what it's doing in the brain to help calm it down so you can focus better, right? When you're all scattered, it's very difficult to be focused on a single task. So a friend of mine, a gentleman named Shane, actually, he shared this. It's called the Sleep Soundly Blend. And so you combine a citrus oil, right, bergamot, with cedarwood, Pedigree, and vetiver, right? They're all wood oils that ground the nervous system and stabilize us. And it's like a gift for a peaceful night's sleep. You can just apply it to your hands and rub it on the bottom of your feet or the back of your neck. Or you can put it in a little roller bottle with some fractionated coconut oil and then just roll it on, where they're already blended together. But there are so many essential oils that are really good. I have so many favorites. And, they're, like, I call them flavors, right? It's food in another form, right? A lot of these are spice oils that you can ingest. And so with so many different flavors, you just experiment and find the one that works the best for you, right? I might love frankincense and vetiver as my top 2, but you might prefer something else. And so, it's all about just experimenting. I will also mention that rest, like the body's need for rest, isn't just about, like how well you slept. When we're not getting the right amount of rest, we end up having, cellular stress. We're more prone to emotional outbursts, and it reduces our metabolic potential. And so, like, when you crave carbs, right, and you're not sleeping well, we're increasing all of those stress hormones and the oxidative stress that happens in the body. And so we're increasing inflammation, right? Now we have more pain more pain that keeps us awake. And so it's this kind of, cycle that we have to somehow break in order to roll it all back and have a good night's sleep. Okay, so that's my wish for you, is that, you find something inside all of these to have sweet dreams, right? That stress isn't, that you don't associate sleeping with stress. Once you have sleeping issues, it's so easy to get into this pattern that says, oh my gosh, I hate climbing into bed because it's so stressful for me to fall asleep, right? And so what I would really like to offer you is, a free sample or more help. If this is an issue for you, right, our success lies in our daily routine. So what will you do each and every day to support sleeping better? Right? We walk towards our health or away from it, one step at a time, right? We evaluate each and every choice in its ability to bring us closer to the goal of sleeping better or not. So, when you're reaching for that coffee and like, well, is this going to help me sleep better tonight or not? Like, it's about associating the outcome I want and being willing to take the step to get there. And so I'm here to help you. I'm here to give you some samples if you want them. I put it in the chat so I can go and get it again so that you can have it right there in front of me. Let's just see. So if you see the HTTPS, the rebrand LY, right? So if you copy and paste that out of the chat, you can just share your name and email address and wait for me to contact with you, and I can, just connect with you and see if there's some samples that you'd like to try and see if it works for you. You can just connect with me on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I have an Eventbrite page where I list all the different workshops that I do that, 99% of them are all free. And so you can join us anytime. As I mentioned, we will be doing Natural Ways to Sharpen Focus tomorrow at 3. And then on Monday, this is a conversation you don't want to miss. How do you boost immune function naturally, right? This is a webinar that I've given 7 or 8 times already this month because it is a hot topic. We do need to boost our immune function because we can never prevent all of the environmental threats from getting in our body. And then on Wednesday at 6, we're going to do a short time together on emotional healing, right? The emotions we feel influence our ability to sleep well and how we behave. And so, I hope you can join us on some of these. Even if you can't, you can always get the information. And so, just reach out to me. My email address is simply.natural@optimum.net. And so I put that in the chat as well. But reach out. I'm happy to talk to any of you. I'll also put my cell phone number. I'm not really sure if all my contact information has been shared, but I do this for free for the benefit. I'm a retired county employee. I used to work at the health department for 7 years and then at social services for 10 years. And so I am here to support the efforts that you're doing. Like, as civil servants, you're very generous with your time and your resources, and we don't get paid a lot, right? And so I'm just offering, my time and my talents, my experiences, in the hopes that they will help you. And so, does anybody have any questions?
Terri, I just wanted to point out